Don't worry about what I'm saying.
No.
If y'all,
At this point, though. Relax. We're not gonna fight with a gun involved.
No, that's what I'm telling you.
I know. Hey.
Hey, y'all, we can.
1040.
That's all right.
Oh, do I?
What started as Halloween trick-or-treating soon turned sour when the teens were arrested for the attack.
Have you ever wondered what drives someone to attack those sworn to protect us? In a shocking series of events, multiple suspects allegedly launched violent assaults on police officers, leaving communities on edge. Let's start with this man allegedly assaults, spits on cops during arrest for violent threats. On May 13th, 2024, Asheville Police Department, APD officers arrested Devin Whitmire in a tense and controversial encounter. This arrest followed multiple calls from Whitmire's mother, who reported her son's erratic behavior and threats towards family members. Initially, officers mistakenly identified Whitmire as his twin brother, Tevin Whitmire. The arrest was prompted by Devin's violent threats and previous criminal history. The arrest followed a series of incidents beginning on May 8th, 2024, when Whitmire's mother called 911, expressing urgent concerns about her son's behavior.
Can you get an officer by Mac Street?
What?
Mac Street. This gotta stop. We have been calling about Devin Whitmire. They didn't serve the IVC on him. Somebody's on my other line right now. I'm on mute. They're letting me hear Devin. He's threatening to bust out more windows at my mama's house. I need somebody.
She reported that Devin had been causing damage and threatening further destruction. Despite attempts to locate him, Devin was not found until 5 days later, during which a magistrate issued an arrest warrant specifically for Devin. Upon locating Devin about a mile from his previous sighting, officers confronted him while he was dressed in a black shirt and camo shorts and wearing a sling. Devin, attempting to avoid arrest, claimed to be his twin brother, Tevin. Despite his protests, officers continued their efforts to confirm his identity using tattoos and other identifying information. During the encounter, Devin's behavior became increasingly combative. He resisted arrest and spat on the officers multiple times. He claimed he was unarmed, despite his initial threats and claims of possessing a firearm. The situation escalated into a physical struggle as officers attempted to subdue him. The body camera footage from the arrest was released by the Asheville Police Department following public outcry and media reports suggesting excessive use of force.
So I can get my gun off of it.
Where's your gun at?
Don't worry about what I'm saying.
No.
If y'all,
At this point, though. Relax. We're not gonna fight with a gun involved.
No, that's what I'm telling you.
I know. Hey.
Hey, y'all, we can.
1040.
That's all right.
His arm is
Give me your freaking hand. Down.
Oh, this is fun.
Video shows the struggle continue as Devin spits on officers multiple times.
Don't keep spitting on us.
I'm gonna keep spitting, though. You slam my head on the ground.
I got it on. Let's go in here.
How you talking about resisting?
Get the
Spitting on you, dude.
Why is you?
Cause there ain't no gun.
No, get up off him like that. Why the off him like that?
Because he's still fighting.
He's not fighting. He is on the ground.
Ma'am,
You mean he's fighting?
please stop.
He's not fighting.
The footage was made public after the Citizen Times published a photograph of the arrest with a misleading headline, leading to concerns about police misconduct. Upon reviewing the footage, it was evident that the officers acted within reasonable bounds. The Asheville Police Department clarified that Devin's neck was not pinned down, contrary to initial claims. The footage revealed discrepancies between the public's perception and the actual events, including Devon's resistance and attempts to provoke the officers. Devon Whitmire now faces multiple criminal charges related to the incident that occurred on May 13th. The charges include 2 counts of assault on a government official inflicting serious injury, 3 counts of assault on a government official, and 3 counts of malicious conduct. These charges reflect the severity of Devon's actions during his arrest, including acts of violence and spitting on the officers. From a legal perspective, the charges against Devon Whitmire are grounded in specific statutory provisions. Under North Carolina General Statutes, Section 1433B, which addresses assaults on law enforcement officers and other public officials, inflicting serious injury is classified as a Class F felony. This category of felony carries potential penalties ranging from 10 to 41 months in prison. Additionally, North Carolina General Statutes, Section 1432.2 pertains to malicious conduct towards law enforcement, including acts such as spitting. This statute is classified as a Class H felony, with penalties ranging from 4 to 25 months in prison. Devon's multiple offenses represent serious violations of these statutes, each with significant legal consequences. The charges address the violent and disruptive nature of his actions during the arrest, ensuring accountability for his resistance to authority. By pursuing these charges, the legal system aims to uphold justice and public safety, highlighting the need to address aggressive behavior towards law enforcement. It looks like this criminal just got into trouble. But this isn't the worst case you'll witness. Wait until you see this next one. October 31st, on Halloween evening in Hot Springs, Arkansas, a seemingly routine encounter between local law enforcement and a group of teenage girls escalated into a violent altercation. The incident, captured on body camera footage, has sparked discussions on the appropriate use of force and the legal ramifications of assaulting a police officer. The confrontation began around 7:15 p.m. when Lieutenant Kenny May observed a group of teenage girls engaging in littering. One of the girls threw a can into the road, prompting Lieutenant May to pull over and address the issue. In the footage, May is seen warning the girls about the consequences of their actions and instructing them to refrain from further littering. Despite his warnings, the situation quickly deteriorated. The girls initially responded with defiance, using profane language and closing in on May. When one of them threw a can directly at him, May decided to call for backup while attempting to maintain control of the situation. His attempts to follow the girls home and discuss the matter with their parents were met with resistance and escalating aggression from the group. As the argument intensified, one of the girls grabbed Lieutenant May, leading to a physical altercation. The situation further escalated when the group of girls began hitting May in the face and neck. Backup officers arrived shortly after, and the fight was broken up. The girls were subsequently handcuffed and placed into squad cars. Following the incident, the teenage girls were arrested and charged with battery. Their aggressive behavior towards Lieutenant May was deemed an assault, resulting in criminal charges. During the arrest, one of the girls suffered an asthma attack and was attended to by emergency medical services, highlighting the chaotic nature of the confrontation. The case highlights the challenges law enforcement officers face in managing confrontational situations while adhering to legal protocols. The legal proceedings for the girls will involve determining the appropriate penalties based on the charges of battery and any additional infractions related to their conduct during the incident. From a legal perspective, the actions of the teenage girls in this incident constitute violations under the Arkansas Criminal Code. Specifically, the offense of battery is addressed under Arkansas Code, Title 5, Chapter 13. According to Section 513-201, battery is defined as intentionally or knowingly causing physical injury to another person. The severity of the charge can vary depending on the degree of injury inflicted and the nature of the assault. Battery in the second degree, as defined under Section 513-202, is applicable when an individual causes serious physical injury or uses a deadly weapon. Although the footage does not indicate severe injury or the use of a weapon, the physical assault on a police officer can still lead to significant legal consequences. Penalties for battery charges in Arkansas can range from fines to imprisonment, depending on the severity of the offense. Battery in the second degree may result in imprisonment for up to 6 years and fines of up to $10,000. Given that the victims were law enforcement officers, additional penalties could apply, reflecting the aggravated nature of the crime. All right, let's move on to this next case where things might get even messier. In a harrowing incident on August 4th, 2022, a 21-year-old man named Zur Ben Zoten was fatally shot by New York Police Department, NYPD officers, after he attacked them with a knife. The incident, which took place on Roosevelt Island, was captured in its entirety on Bodycam footage, revealing the chaotic and dangerous situation faced by the responding officers. The NYPD received a 911 call just before noon on August 4th, reporting a man acting violently with a knife in an apartment building on Roosevelt Island. The man was later identified as Zur Ben Zoten. 6 officers responded to the call, arriving at the building and preparing to confront the suspect. As officers made their way to the upper floors of the building via elevator, Ben Zoten suddenly emerged from a different elevator on the ground floor. Bodycam and CCTV footage captured the moment he rushed at one of the officers with a knife in hand, creating a chaotic and dangerous situation. In response, the officers opened fire, discharging 15 shots at Ben Zoten, who was subsequently injured and transported to a hospital where he was later pronounced dead. The entire incident was captured from multiple Bodycam perspectives, providing a detailed account of the events. The NYPD has since released portions of this footage, which stops short of showing the actual moment when shots were fired. The knife used by Ben Zoten was recovered at the scene, and the shooting remains under investigation. The NYPD has stated that the investigation will be thorough, and the findings will be reviewed by a use of force review board to ensure that all actions taken were in accordance with department protocols. From a legal standpoint, the actions of Zur Ben Zoten constituted several serious criminal violations. His attack on the officers with a deadly weapon, specifically a knife, falls under New York Penal Law Section 120.05, which addresses assault in the second degree. This statute defines the crime as intentionally causing physical injury to another person using a dangerous instrument or weapon. The penalties for this felony include up to 7 years in prison, though more severe consequences can arise if the assault is directed at a police officer. Moreover, Ben Zoten's actions could also be interpreted as attempted murder under New York Penal Law Section 125.25. Attempted murder charges require proving intent to cause the death of another person and taking substantial steps toward that goal. Attempted murder is a Class AI felony in New York, carrying severe penalties, including a potential life sentence. Given the suspect's use of a deadly weapon and the imminent threat posed to the lives of the officer's use of deadly force could be legally justified under New York Penal Law Section 35.15. This law allows for the use of physical force, including deadly force, in defense of oneself or another person, when there is a reasonable belief that such force is necessary to prevent imminent death or serious physical injury. All right, everyone, what are your thoughts? Drop a comment below and make sure to subscribe for more engaging and educational content coming your way. Thanks for your support.